There comes a moment in every life when the world grows quiet, not because the noise has stopped, but because your soul has grown tired of living beneath its own potential. It's the moment when you realize that the only prison you've ever truly lived in is your own mind. And if you don't take control of it, the world will. From the first light of morning to the final breath at night, your mind is constantly creating. Every thought you allow to pass through it is a seed, and every seed will grow. Some will blossom into opportunity, fortune, and greatness. Others will fester into weeds that choke the very life out of your dreams. The tragedy is this: most people never choose what they plant. They let the winds of circumstance blow random seeds into their soil, and then they curse the harvest. If you are to conquer your life, you must first command your mind. This is not poetry, it is the first law of power. Edison knew it when he failed 1,000 times before inventing the light bulb. Carnegie knew it when he turned coal and steel into empires. Disney knew it when bankrupt studios and closed doors stood between him and the castle he saw in his mind. They understood that the mind is not a mirror reflecting the world. It is a lens that shapes it. The average man drifts. He wakes up reacting to bills, to problems, to the noise of other people's opinions. His thoughts are not his own. They are hand-me-downs from a world that profits off his distraction. He wonders why nothing changes, not knowing that his very focus is chained to mediocrity. But the one who commands his mind, that man is different. He chooses his thoughts the way a general chooses his soldiers. He does not allow fear to lead him into battle, nor doubt to guard his gates. He trains his mind for victory before the fight begins. And because his mind is certain, his world follows. It begins with clarity, a vision so vivid that it burns itself into your consciousness. Napoleon Hill called it a definite major purpose. Without it, you are a ship without a compass, at the mercy of every storm. With it, you are a force of nature, bending the winds to your will. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine the life you dare to demand. Not the one you think you can have, the one you must have. See it in detail, the places, the people, the work, the impact. Feel it until it becomes more real than your current reality. Because once it takes root in your mind, your entire being will begin to conspire toward it. But clarity alone is not enough. You must protect your mental state with the same ferocity you'd protect your family. Guard your mind as a king guards his throne. What you allow in will eventually rule over you. The books you read, the people you listen to, the conversations you entertain, these are not harmless. They are either building your empire or burning it to the ground. You must also speak to yourself as a leader speaks to his army. Your self-talk is the command center of your mind. If your words are laced with hesitation, your actions will be too. If you tell yourself you are weak, life will give you proof. But if you tell yourself, I am capable, I am relentless, I am inevitable, your mind will begin to believe it, and belief is the architect of destiny. Understand this. Discipline is the bridge between the world in your head and the one under your feet. No man commands his mind without commanding his habits. Your routines are the quiet soldiers of your success. What you do daily is training your mind to obey you or to betray you. And when the inevitable storms come, when failure whispers in your ear and doubt knocks at your door, remember this: your mind is not there to reflect the storm. It is there to command the ship through it. Ford faced bankruptcies. Lincoln faced defeat after defeat before stepping into the White House. They were not superhuman. They were simply unwilling to surrender the captain's seat of their own mind. To command your mind is to live deliberately. To conquer your life is to refuse to drift. You do not wake up hoping to have a good day. You create it. You do not wait for opportunity. You summon it. You do not pray for the mountain to move. You climb it. And in doing so, you discover the mountain was inside you all along. And so you must decide right now that your mind belongs to you, that no fear, no failure, no voice of doubt will have the final say. Because the day you master your mind is the day the world stops mastering you. The truth is, most people never realize how much of their life has been hijacked by automatic thinking. They've been programmed since childhood by their parents, their teachers, the media, their failures, and their fears to believe in limits that don't actually exist. They've been handed a script and told this is your life. never realizing they have the power to rewrite every line. You were not born to be a servant to your past. You were not born to kneel before circumstance. You were born with the same raw material as every great leader, inventor, and empire builder in history. A mind that can be trained, sharpened, and directed like a beam of concentrated fire. But here's the price, and this is where most fall away. Commanding your mind means constant conscious effort. It means catching yourself in the act of weak thinking and replacing it with strong, decisive thought. It means refusing to dwell on problems unless you're already in the process of solving them. It means treating every idle moment as an opportunity to feed your mind something worthy. A powerful idea, a bold vision, a plan of action. Thomas Edison said, "Genius is 1% inspiration and 99% perspiration." But that 1% is not random. It's the product of a mind that has been trained to notice opportunity where others see nothing. You train that awareness by living on the offensive, setting the terms of your day before the world can set them for you. Every morning is a battle for control. You wake up with a choice: will I be the commander of my thoughts or the victim of my habits? The man who wins this battle daily is unstoppable. The one who loses it becomes another cautionary tale. If you want proof, look at history. Andrew Carnegie started with nothing, working 12-hour days for pennies in a textile mill. But he had a clear vision of wealth and refused to allow any thought into his mind that contradicted it. That mental discipline turned him into one of the richest men in the world. Contrast that with the millions who work just as hard but think like paupers. Their bodies toil, but their minds remain idle. Understand this. The mind is not loyal by default. If you neglect it, it will wander into doubt, fear, and laziness. If you discipline it, it will work tirelessly to bring you exactly what you've told it to seek. That's why you must feed your mind with the kind of fuel that makes it dangerous to mediocrity. Read the words of giants. Study the strategies of builders and leaders. Surround yourself with people who think in terms of can and will, not maybe and someday. Every conversation, every book, every moment of reflection is either sharpening your sword or dulling it. And let me be blunt, you cannot command your mind while poisoning it. Negativity is a slow-acting poison. Gossip, envy, complaint, these are weeds that grow faster than the seeds of greatness. The disciplined mind does not tolerate them, just as a king would not allow traitors inside his walls. The greatest deception is the belief that you can think weak thoughts and still live a strong life. It's impossible. The outside will always match the inside. You can decorate the outside, pretend for a while, but sooner or later the cracks will show. So you must begin with the inner citadel, your mental fortress. Build walls of discipline. Fill its halls with purpose. Let gratitude be its guard and vision be its crown. When your mind is strong, nothing from the outside can overthrow you. When it is weak, nothing from the outside can save you. And here is the paradox. Your mind will try to resist your command in the beginning. It will fight you like a rebellious soldier who has grown lazy under poor leadership. It will try to pull you back into comfort, into familiar patterns. You must outlast it. You must show it, day after day, that you are now the one in charge. You will wake early when it tells you to sleep. You will take action when it tells you to wait. You will speak possibility when it whispers doubt. And slowly it will learn, not because you wished for it, but because you proved it through discipline. This is where transformation begins, not in the grand moments, not in the applause or the recognition, but in the quiet victories when no one is watching. The moment you choose focus over distraction, the moment you choose patience over frustration, the moment you choose belief over fear. These moments are not small. They are the bricks of your future. Every day you are either building a palace or digging a grave, and the tool in your hand is the same for both. Your mind. If you want, I can roll immediately into the next uninterrupted section where we go deep into vision, purpose, and unstoppable resilience, keeping the momentum and intensity building toward the climax. There comes a point where your mind stops being just a tool and becomes a weapon against doubt, a weapon against every limitation you've been handed. But to reach that point, you must fuse your mental discipline with something even greater. Purpose. A mind without purpose is like a blade without a target, sharp but useless. Purpose gives direction to your thoughts. It turns discipline into destiny. And when that purpose becomes so clear, so burning, so undeniable, you stop asking if success is possible. You start moving as if it's inevitable. Napoleon Hill called it a definite major purpose. It's not a casual wish, not a New Year's resolution, not a wouldn't it be nice. It's the thing you decide your life is for, the mountain you're willing to die climbing. You see, the man who has a strong enough why will endure anyhow. Carnegie endured poverty so deep it could have buried him, but his purpose was wealth with meaning. Ford endured the laughter of skeptics who told him the automobile would never replace the horse, but his purpose was to put America on wheels. Lincoln endured failure after failure, defeat after defeat, yet his purpose to preserve the Union carried him into history. Purpose doesn't make the journey easier, it makes it worth it. And once your mind is locked on it, something extraordinary happens. Your thoughts begin to reorganize themselves around it. Ideas you never noticed appear. People you need seem to cross your path. Your brain starts scanning the world, filtering everything through a single question: will this move me closer to my purpose or further away? This is where most people fail, not because they are weak, but because their purpose is vague. Vague purpose breeds vague action. If you say, I want to be successful, your mind doesn't know where to aim. But if you say, I will build a business that frees my family from every financial chain, your mind begins crafting the steps to get there. When your purpose is definite, your discipline becomes unshakable. You stop debating whether to do the work. You stop negotiating with excuses, because you understand that every act of laziness is theft. You are stealing from your own future. But even with purpose, the road will test you. Life will throw delays, betrayals, and disappointments into your path, not to destroy you, but to discover if you're serious. This is where resilience steps in, the unbreakable alliance between mind and purpose. Resilience is not the absence of pain. It is the refusal to let pain dictate your direction. Think of Walt Disney, fired from his first newspaper job for lacking creativity, bankrupt after failed ventures, ridiculed for dreaming of a giant theme park. Yet his purpose was untouched. His mind refused surrender. Today his vision still employs thousands and inspires millions. When you command your mind, failure becomes feedback. You stop calling it the end and start calling it the next step. You learn to extract lessons from loss, to see setbacks as training for greater victories. And the more you endure, the stronger you become. Your mind develops calluses, not to make you numb but to make you unstoppable. The same blow that would have crushed you a year ago barely slows you down now. But let me make something clear. Commanding your mind is not about becoming a cold machine. It's about mastering the balance between relentless ambition and gratitude. Gratitude is the grounding force. It reminds you that while you chase what you want, you must cherish what you have. Without gratitude, ambition turns to greed. With gratitude, ambition becomes service. And here's the final truth about purpose: it will outlast you. If your vision dies when you die, it was too small. Commanding your mind is not just about building wealth, fame, or comfort. It's about building something that remains when you're gone. A business that changes lives, a book that changes minds, a movement that changes the world. Your mind is the architect. Your purpose is the blueprint. Your discipline is the builder. Together they create a life so powerful that nothing, no doubt, no failure, no enemy can erase it. There is a dangerous illusion that has stolen more dreams than failure ever could: the illusion of later. Later is where dreams go to die. Later is the soft pillow you lay your potential on while life slips past you. Later whispers, you have time. But one day you wake up and realize time had you. If you truly want to command your mind and conquer your life, you must destroy the idea of later. You must decide that now is the only moment you own, and if you let it go, you will never see it again. Think of the greats. They did not wait for the right time. Edison didn't wait for better tools before he started experimenting with light. Oprah didn't wait for perfect conditions before she stepped into the spotlight. Every empire, every fortune, every legacy began with a moment of now. And yet the average man waits. He waits for motivation. He waits for clarity. He waits for some invisible sign from the heavens telling him it's time to move. What he doesn't realize is that clarity comes from movement, not the other way around. Commanding your mind means refusing to be paralyzed by preparation. You prepare as you go. You learn by doing. You move first, then adjust. The greatest enemy to success is the man who is always getting ready but never starts. So I ask you, what are you waiting for? You already know the dream. You already know the goal. You already know the person you must become. The only missing piece is your decision to begin right now. And when you begin like you mean it. Do not tiptoe toward your destiny. Run toward it with the ferocity of a lion reclaiming what was stolen. Move with such conviction that fear doesn't even have time to argue. Your mind will test you in these moments. It will try to pull you back into safety, into routine, into the familiar prison you've lived in for years. You must override it. You must speak louder than the voice of hesitation. Say to yourself, this is my time. This is my moment. This is my decision, and I will not return to who I was. Because here's the truth. The man you want to be is already inside you. Locked behind a door made of excuses, and the key to that door is relentless immediate action. Do not confuse this with recklessness. Commanding your mind is not about running blindly. It's about running with intention. It's about knowing exactly where your energy is going and refusing to waste a drop of it on things that do not serve your vision. From this moment forward, you must see every decision as a vote for the man you are becoming, or a vote for the men you are leaving behind. Every choice adds up. Every day counts. Every action compounds. And if you stay the course, if you train your mind to obey your vision and not your fears, there will come a day when you look around and realize you have conquered your life, not because the world gave it to you, but because you commanded it into existence. If you'd like, I can now roll into the final climactic section where the energy peaks and the script closes with a cinematic soul-awakening conclusion that leaves the listener ready to act before the video ends. There will come a day when you look back at this very moment and realize this was the turning point. The second you decided that your mind would no longer be a playground for doubt, fear, and wasted potential. The instant you became the commander, not the captive, of your own thoughts. But let me give you the warning that every true warrior of the mind understands. Once you take control, you can never go back. Because once you've tasted the power of a directed mind, the safety of mediocrity will feel like a prison cell. The world will try to pull you back. Friends will tell you you've changed, and they'll be right. Family may question you not because they don't love you, but because your ambition makes their comfort uncomfortable. Strangers will try to measure you by the man you used to be. Let them talk. You're not building your life for the applause of the crowd. You're building it for the approval of your own soul. Understand this: greatness is not a single moment. It is the daily discipline of choosing vision over comfort, purpose over pleasure, and destiny over distraction. Commanding your mind is not something you do once. It is something you do every day, every hour, every thought. When the alarm rings in the morning and your body says sleep, your mind says rise. When the world throws you a problem and your fear says hide, your mind says attack. When the temptation comes to drift, to coast, to take it easy, your mind says push. And over time something extraordinary happens. Your mind begins to obey without argument. It stops fighting your commands and starts carrying them out like an army loyal to its king. The same way an athlete trains his body to move without hesitation, you will have trained your mind to move toward victory instinctively. But the ultimate conquest is not just personal achievement. It is the impact you leave. Conquering your life means building something that will outlast you. It means your children inherit not just your wealth, but your mindset. It means your work, your example, your story becomes proof to the next generation that impossible is just an opinion. So here is your order, your final command to yourself. From this day forward, you will no longer think like the person who wants success. You will think like the person who expects it. You will no longer act like the person who is trying to win. You will act like the person who has already claimed victory in his mind. Every action from this moment on must answer one question: does this honor the man I am becoming? If the answer is no, it does not happen. The world will belong to those who can master themselves, and self-mastery begins with mind mastery. So stand up, draw the line, and command your mind as if your life depends on it, because it does. Your time is not tomorrow. It is not later. It is now. And now you march forward, relentless, unshaken, unstoppable, until the life you've built in your mind is the life you're living under your feet. If you want, I can polish this entire 4000 plus word script into one continuous cinematic flow with pacing beats and delivery cues so it's voiceover ready for your YouTube video that will make it hit even harder when paired with music and visuals.